and you give
It's
him
over.
some shooters, know you got a contender on your hands.
Yeah. Like, and we're not gonna act like at his peak, LeBron could sit and work on D. Like LeBron used to sit in a chair at that size and guard point guards. Like that's real.
Man,
That actually happened. I think he should have won Defensive Player of the Year the year Marc Gasol won. What the freak heck was they doing? And
they screwed him. They screwed him. So
At least give it to Noah, but I think LeBron still won, but at least I thought Noah was better too.
LeBron.
I think that 2012 or 2013 season, I remember it was a game when the Knicks was on that little hot streak. I think Carmelo had something like 24 or something.
He's destroying them. He's destroying them.
They put Bron on him in the second half. I think he only finished with like 32, and then he came back and won.
They don't get enough credit, stuff like that. Skip Bayless.
LeBron has never been my favorite player.
Yeah,
if I got an all-time, if I break up all modern players and I got an all-time draft, if I can't get Shaq, I'm getting LeBron. Period.
Okay. Yeah.
So, his fans got on my nerves because before he had done anything, he was already better than Kobe. Before he had done anything,
that's what made me mad.
That's what made me mad too.
Right.
2006. 2007 when he beat the Pistons, but they forgot that even. I mean, I ain't trying to be funny, but he had 48. But the game after that, nigga had like 17 or something or something like that. Like, yeah,
I look at the whole series. Kobe during that time to me was like my favorite show of all time, The Wire.
Yeah.
Don't tell me before I even watch the episode that something is better than The Wire.
Don't do that.
Now I'm already turned off. I'm not looking. I'm going to try to find everything wrong with it.
Now watch this. Two things are true about LeBron James at the same time, and nobody ever says it. LeBron James is the most disrespected, hated basketball player in the media. He's the most overloved, never criticized player in the basketball because you actually have a group of LeBron haters and you have a group of LeBron apologists. You have the Nick Wrights and the Shannon Sharps and the Jay Williamses of the world who worship LeBron. The Brian Windhorst wouldn't even exist if he
was probably the only LeBron fan that's objective.
Right? Yeah, you can add Draymond to that too.
You can add Draymond.
Draymond too.
And then you got the Skip Baylesses. And you got the Colin Cowherd, he be hating.
He talks out of both sides.
He be kind of both.
Yeah, he praised LeBron and D-Block.
Man, this is why I'm going to laugh at Cowherd because he has so many takes that you will go out and he will and you can find him talking out both sides of his mouth. I remember after Kobe won in 2010 because I used to love listening to the Colin Cowherd show. Because I remember when I was doing my internship, I would always put on ESPN radio. I would just listen to it. And after Kobe won in 2010, he came out and said, you can't tell me that you have seen, he said the only basketball player that you could say is better than Kobe Bryant all time is Michael Jordan. LeBron makes his descent in 2010, 2011. Now it's LeBron is way better than Kobe.
Yeah, just that quick.
And then another thing where I say he talks out of both sides of his mouth, when KD won his first MVP in 2014, I think they had went out and lost, and then LeBron went on a tear and scored 61 points. They started finishing the season strong. They started the season slow, and then Miami finished strong. And he was like, next year in 2015, when everyone is talking about how good Kevin Durant is, you just let them know that he is not better than LeBron. Don't forget about this time next year around when you're trying to give him MVP. And then literally he switched on LeBron after they lost. Yeah. So he goes back and forth where he has his hate hive. It's another guy I know that he seemed like he gave him a hard time, man. Rob Parker be towing the line too.
You know what? And I be trying. I tried to like
He
Rob
just trying
Parker,
to do that to stay popular.
He sound crazy. Like he sound like he be drinking liquor sometimes, man. I'd be like,
dude, he was a drunk in Detroit. A lot of people. My uncle They say he was always getting, because he used to write here in Detroit.
I know he got a barbershop there, or he used to.
Yeah.
Well, he used to be with the Free Press for a while. He's moved all around. He's from New York.
Yeah.
But he's always, they say that he used to get notoriously messed up at the clubs.
Bro.
But
he be saying some crazy stuff.
Yeah, but the thing though is you have Skip Bayless leading that, putting himself in that Howard Cosell range.
Made a lot of money off disrespecting our athletes.
No, he has. But now, if you look at it, that's the stick. Because if you look at him now, and I'm not going to make no excuse for him, but this guy pushing 70. He just going to say whatever he wants. Now he's okay. I laughed at it, but I ain't going to lie because it's something I would have said. When Westbrook and his wife came back at him recently. Mm-hmm. And he said, you could come on my show and you could talk about why you the worst shooter of all time. I'd tell you to your face why you Westbrook. And my thing is, no, he's ignorant.
Yeah, but you want me to come on your show and give you more ratings to talk about me? That's the dumbest answer I ever heard.
Yeah.
But that's what he does. You're scared to come on my show.
Let's be real. All of this stuff, media, music, has turned into BS. And people didn't tune into him, because let's be real. I watched the clips for free on ESPN. On YouTube. But I'm not going to tell you,
I go even further.
Yeah,
if it ain't some foreign name, I don't watch the clip. Like if it say ESPN clip,
I watch the foreign name too. Yeah,
I watch it from somebody else who posted.
Me too. I watch somebody else. No, I don't support their channels. Yep. But what I will say is, I'm not gonna lie. I still want to and I only watch like now 3 or 4 minutes of it. But I really like watching him double down and saying the stupid stuff. Not saying I'm watching it. I like watching it. I'm entertained by it. But it's still that anticipation of what is this idiot about to say about this now? And he will find every way to discredit someone.
Yes.
It's terrible.
And my thing is he's gotten away with they go beyond like the take on Dak Prescott. You shouldn't be on TV no more, dog.
What do you say about Dak again?
How did you not get this? Like he was talking about when Dak Prescott, his brother had just committed suicide. The pandemic hit, and
they got on about that.
He's like, I don't feel sympathy for him, and I'm like,
he's supposed to be a leader. Guys in the locker room look at you as a leader. I just seen that recently. Like, what? He really said that?
First of all, most of these guys, and I'm gonna get into my own little bag real quick. First of all, most of these guys that talk about sports and talk about TV have no idea what leadership really is. Playing goddamn basketball and football, and even being the best at it does not.
That ain't no leader.
Right, because it's not life and death. It's a game. It's a kid's game that you play for a living. Let's get that out the way. You can have leadership within that realm, but these guys go above. I know I served in the military with guys who suffered from depression, and they led us to combat and brought us home. So don't tell me that a guy can't have these types of things if you can't respect him as a leader. The fact is, this donkey has never had to lead anyone but himself. He's been a freelance writer, and he's been a debater on TV shows, getting money for talking about stuff and making up hot takes.
It was 1.7 points a game on JV. What Jalen Rose say? He got 1.7 points.
And then you get mad at Jalen.
Played
Jalen
JV
never
as a junior.
Oh man,
I ain't JV as a freshman. Like, yeah, bro.
I loved it because if you look at how it started, I think Chris Carter was there one time.
Yeah, Chris Carter.
And he was just so disrespectful to him because Chris was always like, I played the game. And he all like, he pulled the weak stuff. Oh, but you ain't got no ring. And then Chris Carter looking at this dude like, what?
You don't have a ring and you don't even have one reception.
Thank you. And that's why when I'll blame him, it was hilarious. I remember watching it real time when Richard Sherman went on first take. Yeah. And he said that's why he got mad at ESPN. Because he said they wouldn't defend him. He said they didn't defend him and they wouldn't let him say his piece about it. But when Sherman went on there, it was like, he said, you've never been top 24 anything to be in your career.
Anything.
He said,
right, he said at the bottom of the screen, say, first team all pro. That means I was the top 24 players in the NFL. You're not the top 24 anything. I'm better. He said he's better at life than him, too.
He said, basically what I'm saying is I'm better at life than you.
You call me Stanford.
How you gonna criticize a guy that be?
Call me Stanford graduate, all pro.
Yep. But he said that too because he was going at him about Vanderbilt, and that's the problem that I don't like about Skip is he has that. We can cut the part out, but I don't know. What I'm saying is he still has that white male arrogance where he doesn't like hearing about himself. But
he always said that Vanderbilt, my
fragility.
Yeah, he like even sometimes when the lady host come at him, he don't even like that.
Yeah.
Oh, what's her name? She went hard on him though. Was it Jenny? He said, "Well, I appreciate that, Jenny." He got mad.
Yeah. No, we're not. That's what Shannon was like. We one team because these guys weak. They feel like they can say whatever they want about anybody, and then when they say something back, they call the other person sensitive. No,
you know what it was? Deon?
They wasn't at home talking about you.
He said that coach was
talking about them.
He said the coach was overweight or something. He like, I don't want him being my coach. He look out of shape. And she was like, oh, so you saying somebody with more weight can be a coach or something? That's what Jenny got mad. Like Jenny cut into him.
That's crazy.
Skip said, "This is my opinion."
At the end of the day, these guys get on here and like Nick Wright get all smart alecky and like that stuff is easy.
Oh, yeah, Kobe, Game 7, he put on Game 7 against with Kobe, but he don't never talk about like, oh, if he scored 81, he'd be like, oh yeah, he'd say something like he took this many shots, or he's never credited with Kobe. It's always yeah.
But and Nick Wright does the opposite. Anything that threatens LeBron, he discredits. Anything that threatens LeBron has to be discredited in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Like, bro, and listen, watch this. I'm gonna tell you something. Nick Wright said on TV several times that once Golden State got KD, he was like, "We know that this team cannot beat LeBron." He literally said that. He said, "We know this. This is a fact." That's a quote. Now, years later, he's like, well, nobody was going to beat that team. These guys don't even get held accountable for the things that they say. But back to LeBron. LeBron is polarizing, and people could hate him or love him. You could not like him, but I don't think that you're using your brain objectively if you have him outside of your top 5, your top 3. You can. I don't think you could be objectively using your brain because the guys that are in that, and this is another reason why I think we should take out all of the Oscar Robertson, Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell.
Guys. Me and Trey been going back and forth about that.
We should put them on Mount Olympus, the mountain of gods, and say they're untouchable. They stay over there. We're not going to disrespect them. We're going to put them over there, and then we're going to judge modern era type guys.
Remember that, Trey?
That's what we should do.
That's why I say that. The only reason why I say this is there's an NBA and there's a modern NBA. And I won't lie, I used to give him a hard time, Oscar Robertson, because of I just didn't like when he hated on new players.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just always kind of had that get off my line talk. But I won't lie, when I heard his Knuckleheads interview, it damn near made me like, I didn't tear up, but I just got so emotional for him, just knowing everything he went through.
Yes.
And I just want to find a way to give these guys their respect without, denigrating them. And what I got to say about Oscar Robertson, he's a dog. You look at the things he was doing even in high school and at Cincinnati. The story I was talking about is Michigan. Ironically, Michigan, he was supposed to do a visit with him, and they never came and picked him up.
Yeah.
They left him at the airport. So the fact that those guys went through a lot of racism during that time. Why building this foundation of the league, I don't want to disrespect them, their records, and what they accomplished.
Right.
But
it ain't gonna pop off, but we need to create Mount Olympus and put them over there. Ain't nobody gonna follow us, but I think we need to do it anyway.
No, we need to, because the reason why I say this is, let's be realistic. If we observe the way the game was played back then, it's not even a fair way to compare it.
No, look, go on thinking basketball, and they tell you about the pace of play and the rate of missing and all these other different things that went on back then.
Yeah, of course you're gonna get more rebounds if you're taking 40 more shots a game.
So they had more attempts at things. I mean, to be able to get those stats. It was just crazy to me. I refuse to use Draymond's word because he annoyed me. I never want to hear that word back in my life. Ever in my life again. Yes. But it was just shocking to me to watch and see that they were averaging in the 120s for points with no 3-point line. But still shooting like 40% from the field.
Right. So if you look at like when Denver and somebody had the highest scoring playoff game ever back in the 70s, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
If that happened today, the same score, same percentages, everything exact, they'd say, see, these guys today don't play D. And I'd be like, but this is the same exact game that happened then. This whole playing D back in that's first of all, that's a lie. It's a lie. You had one small era where the NBA started playing defense during that bad boy era all the way through that Indiana Knicks era. And the NBA was like, we don't like this ugly basketball, dog. But before that, it was running and gunning, 140. Look at some of those Lakers versus Celtics blowouts in the finals.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, come on, stop acting crazy, man. Like, get out of here, man. Some of the highest scoring games you've ever seen in your life was back then.
Yeah.
Right. But now they do it. They're like, oh, they ain't playing no D.
But I see what Troy said about the modern NBA. Like, people are about to say, like, oh, Bill Russell. Like, I love Bill Russell. Like, he's a legend. But his 15 points a game, we watch out to go. We watch Kobe average 35 in one season in a modern NBA where they playing zone. They game planning for you. It's just kind of like, you can't compare. Like,
let's just be realistic, bro.
NBA to the new.
This is why I say you can't compare these guys to this era. I know we done went to a different tangent. How do you fairly rate a guy that shot under 40% or only shot like that? I think he might have shot under 40%.
Come on, who's
Bill Russell.
Russell was like 44%.
No,
43.
He wasn't 44. I think he was like 42.
Maybe 42, yeah. I know it was in the 40s for sure, like low 40s.
You're a big man that played around the rim, and you get these cartoonish rebounds. The league is just different to evaluate that. The only fair thing we would have seen is Ben Wallace. What was he averaging, like 7 and 13? You get what I'm saying? Reggie Evans was throwing up numbers like that. And y'all was averaging 30 and 40 or 23 rebounds. What he averaged 18 points, 23 rebounds. The same with Will. These numbers are cartoonish. That's just how I call it. It's cartoonish, and it's hard to emulate that.
Oh, look at Elgin Baylor stats. Ridiculous.
Same. He's putting up 61. When he scored 61, Jordan broke
he averaged 38 and 19, I think, one season. Something like that. For the whole season. Like, I think
let's be real, too. 19. And your boy Kill don't want to hear this. Will has some 30-point games in the finals, and then he'll go and have 4. So I don't want to disrespect but that's what I got to say. We got to talk about what actually happened.
Right. And let's keep it a buck. Either everything count or it don't.
Yeah.
You can't nowadays sit and nitpick every single minutia for the modern players, and then for the old players, we're not gonna go back and actually look at the numbers. We're just gonna use our memories and say like that don't work.
Like Oscar Robinson. I don't want to disrespect you, old head, but as good as you are, you have 1 ring. So how would y'all run 1 ring that you got with Kareem? How are you over Steph? It took Steph to it really took Steph 4 championships to pass him.
And dig this.
Yeah, I just think you saying Troy like that.
And you played with one of the most dominating forces. Okay, that's all that stuff don't matter though, right? So nowadays, not only do you need to play well, all of a sudden you need to win a championship by yourself. And you got to hope your teammates don't play good either.
Yeah.
Man, Barkley, now I love Barkley as a player, but Barkley be saying shit like that too. Barkley be like, he be hating on the new school, like, oh yeah, Durant need to be the bus driver.
First of all,
pretty much.
First of all, Kenny Smith already told him ain't no such thing as a bus driver, because a bus driver, that means everybody else doing nothing.
Right.
The NBA team is a train.
Yeah.
We got to talk to these guys then that's coming up. Ja, Luka, all y'all guys that's looking to win a ring, Joker, Embiid, y'all got to go out and average 30. And you got to pray nobody else over your team average over 21, 20 points.
Yeah.
Because if not,
right, even though Kobe had Shaq and Magic had Kareem, Jordan had Pippen.
Bill Russell had a teammate.
Like,
Bill Russell had a
LeBron
teammate
had
that averaged 25 and 16, dog.
Man, thank you.
We've changed. Either we're gonna stand on principle and have a goal post and keep it in concrete, or we ain't. But if we ain't, then you force me to come back at you with these numbers, with these guys that you want to mythologize.
Good.
It don't work like that. Not with me. I can't do it.
All right, don't. So that's what I'm saying. I just think that this was a healthy conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. We've been on here forever. But
yeah,
I when we send it out, I think we just got to break it up in parts, definitely.
Yeah.
I just think it was healthy. I know a lot of people won't follow this model or this rubric that we put forward, this layout, but it's just good to have a fair conversation about guys without the hyperbole. I think it's just fair to judge guys on what they've done.
Yeah, that's
the
it.
Young guys, I think it was fair. We judged them on what they've seen and what we've seen and what they're projected to do. But I think it's even fair that we know what expectations that all these guys have. And what I would end with, and then everybody can give their final thoughts. Just circling back, the young guys know what standard it is that they need to play up to, and what expectations is set for them. The older guys that's been that top 75 range, I would say your place is set. You can either go up or somebody got to pass you, but I can't drop
you. Yeah.
And, I'm just looking forward to see how the season go, man. I love football, but, man, I'm ready to get back to the NBA.
Yeah.
I love watching this sport, man. I love watching
I've been on the baseball. I've been watching Aaron Judge been going crazy.
I've been trying to watch a little of Summer League. I'm definitely
he about to get back.
I'm about to try to see how James Wiseman look tonight when he plays.
Come on, Wiseman, man. Curry needs you to get 2 more rings, for real.
Yeah.
He can help.
What's your final thoughts, though? I just want to hear y'all final thoughts on today in the conversation.
You go ahead, Dre.
It was great, man. That was a good idea. I think there was a chance for us to give guys their flowers without all, like you said, without all the extra stuff like extra overhate, overtrade, then objectify everybody's career. And it helped me look back at guys' career too, like how Dwight Howard didn't make top 75, how great Damian Lillard is. So I really liked it, man. We went through the draft. Basically, like, I don't want to say I hate using it like transcending, but all the players we named was like players that showed us a great level of basketball throughout the last 19 years. So,
well, I just, I enjoyed it as always. It's just good to look at some things and try to break things down without having an objective or a goal, or to try to up somebody or down somebody. Just what did they do? What did they not do? What did they have to do it with? It's not that difficult. You do not have to run around and behave like the donkeys that you don't like. We don't have to do that. But I'm gonna email it. I'm gonna email this to y'all. I have no idea how to how to chop it or none of that stuff. But y'all can do with it whatever y'all want to. I ain't got no platform. But y'all can do whatever y'all want to with it. I'm gonna email it to y'all and have fun with it.
All right, thanks.
All right, appreciate y'all.